Hi guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be kind of an interesting one. I'm going to be comparing two palettes that seem to be completely opposite from each other, and I know what you're probably thinking, like, why? These aren't even the same, like they don't even have the same amount of shades. Nothing, they don't even look alike. These are the two palettes right here. This one is the Angelica Sultry palette and this one is the Pretty Cool. So I got this one, I wanted to do a review on it, and so I'm gonna combine it with a comparison because I think that this other palette can be compared, and I'm gonna tell you why. So the reason why I even decided to do this video is because one of you guys asked me if I thought that the colors were similar to the mattes in the Sultry palette, and I had not even noticed it until she told me. So I'm super happy about that because like this, I am able to compare it to something else maybe that you already bought because one is newer than the other. Alright, so I'm gonna get straight into it. All over the eyelid for this look, I actually showed you the tutorial, so that full tutorial is already up. I used the color Fine Point, and that one is from the Dose of Colors the Dose of Color palette, and that one I applied it all over the eyelid. I packed it on. It packs on smoothly. The color is intense. You can tell it's a really nice cool brown. It is not hard to build up at all. Looks great. Then I blended out the edges to that one with Taupeless and a very simple look. That's all that was. It was just super simple using a little bit of shades in the palette. Like it wasn't anything with like a lot of steps. And then on the lower lash line, I went for a super light look. And for this look in particular, I did wear falsies. Today I'm not wearing any, but you'll be able to notice like it's almost the same. So then for today's look, I decided to use the Anastasia palette using some of the shades that I feel might look the same on the eyes. So one of them is like almost exact. So all over the eyelid, I used the color Twig. That one is a very cool toned brown from the Sultry palette. And then I blended that color out with the color Birch. Now in the pan, Birch looks a little brownish, but whenever you apply it, since it's a cool tone brown, it does look a little grayish. I don't know why, maybe it's just on my skin tone, but it does show up a little grayish. And once it gets mixed in with the color Twig that I have all over the eyelid, it does create more of a cool tone brown. So it doesn't look that light and it doesn't look that brown once it's on the eyes, at least not mixed in with, like I said, the eyelid color. So that's it. That's pretty much all I did for the top. And then on the bottom, I used the color Slate. That is a very light gray eyeshadow. I mean, you can pack it on and make it more intense, but since I was doing something light on the bottom, I went ahead and I applied that one, and it looks very similar to the other look. Now, if you look at both of the looks together, you can tell that there's not much of a difference once the palettes are on the eyes or once the shades are on the eyes. So those are both of the looks right there, and if you just don't pay attention to my lipstick, because today I wanted a little bit more color, they look pretty much the same, you guys. Like once it's on the eyes, it really doesn't look that different besides me wearing falsies in one of them and me not wearing falsies today. And I think the look looks almost exact. Now with that being said, you're probably thinking, okay, what's the point? What's the point of them being so similar, or what's the point of comparing these two palettes? Well, because this one is a $32 palette and it comes with 5 shades in here, and here are the swatches so you can take a look at them. You are going to notice that 3 of these shades look very similar. If one is slightly lighter or slightly darker, there's like barely any difference to them, and once they're on the eyes, they mix together and they create like more of a one shade. So if you wanted to, you can apply one shade, pack it on, make it dark, then use that exact same shade, blend it out just with the lighter hand, and you'll get the exact same look. So by looking at them all together, getting 3 of very similar shades, like they're so similar to each other, and then you get the dark one, which is a dark brown, and then the light one, you're basically getting 3 shades in here. I mean, I know that there's 5, but they really do just look the same on the eyes, you guys. It's like not even a big difference. For $32, I'm not so sure. Like buying a palette for 5 shades in it, it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. I know I sound like I'm like yelling at you like I'm your mom, but I'm just telling you it looks pretty much the same once it's on the eyes. So now moving on to the Sultry palette, which is $45. And again, you're probably thinking, why are you comparing it to that? Because I feel like Sultry was a very popular launch. A lot of people got it. I know that you tell me in the comments, I got the palette, I'm so excited, or I'm waiting for it, or I've done many looks with it, I love the tones. So you probably already have the Sultry. I mean, if you don't, then it doesn't apply to you. But if you do, it just shows that you don't need another cool tone palette in order to get the same result for the eye look that you're going for with the Dose of Color Pretty Cool. Look at the swatches right here next to each other. They're not exactly the same. You get a light gray in here, and that birch color does seem very light, like almost like my skin tone in a way. So they're not the same, but you also get all these other shimmers in here. I mean, $45 to $32. It just doesn't make any sense to me to have both of the palettes. Of course I have them because I mean I bought the other one in the vault and I did want to try the other shades, and I had no idea that they were going to be so similar. But if I knew, then I wouldn't buy this one because I already have this one. So I just feel like, okay, you don't want to spend $45 but you want some cool tones, then yes, go ahead and get this one because the quality is good. I guess I would have never thought about it because this mixed in with all these shimmer shades, it just probably wouldn't cross my mind. I would be looking for an all matte palette or something like that. So comparing these two was just a little different for me. And yes, today's look is really simple, and the one that I did with the Dose of Color is too. But whenever you try to build it up to build up the intensity, it doesn't get that dark depth in your look, so it's not very different. And I feel like over here you just get all these other options. You even get the black tone, you get the pink, and you get all the shimmers that are really good quality. Yeah, it's not that it's not one of my favorites because of how it performs, it's just not one of my favorites because I don't feel like I can create a lot of different looks. I feel like they just kind of mix in together. So yes, you guys, that is everything for this video. I felt like it was a very serious one. I felt like I was like telling you what to do but that's not what I mean at all. I just mean like you don't need both palettes, okay? And it's so funny to me whenever I say okay, like you can't answer me. If you don't like Anastasia's formula or you don't need the shimmer shades, then yeah, go ahead and get the Pretty Cool palette. And of course, if you're gonna buy it already, then this video, it's not gonna make a difference for you because you're gonna get it anyway. So yeah, it's not really like a negative review on the Pretty Cool palette, but if you can get this one, if you're able to get this one and get a lot more for it, like a lot more shades, a lot more looks from it, I just feel like it's just worth waiting. Maybe if you can save up a little bit more from this one and buy this one. So yes, you guys, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. I hope this one was helpful, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.